Bango. All right. There are faces. All the faces.
Hey. I see our faces.
Yay. Why does it look all weird on my screen? I don't like that.
Hey, Keith's here.
Yay!
Keith.
Keith's our groupie.
Keith is our groupie.
Keith is our fan base.
Keith's the one that we can depend on. All right. So D's and D's.
D's and don'ts.
Nuts.
God.
Anyway. What was I saying? Right. Last time, you guys continued your journey to try and get to the city of Bugan on the god damn it, Western continent. D&D's nuts? No. Please God, no. And you came to essentially a coast. For the first time in a long time, you guys have seen water. And it's a large river that splits the land in two. In crossing that river...
I need it.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, I'll be quiet.
Shut up, Dumbledore.
We're playing D&D, I'm sorry. Let's go. I got it. Okay.
And across that water, you see a bridge. And on either side of that bridge are a pair of forts made of black stone with crowds going into and out of this establishment. So you all, with your carriage that you've rented, essentially get in line to head into this fort in order to cross the river. In line, you see that guards are kind of patrolling back and forth. There's a shit ton of what seem to just be common folk in various levels of regalia, some in literal rags and dirt. Some seem to be traveling warriors, mercenaries, whatever, one of which seems to be a half-dragon, actually in line right in front of you with his dragon half-brother. By the name of Garth, I believe. And you guys are just slowly making your way, one step at a time. The line seems to be moving excruciatingly slow, though. So sounds. Yes. So,
the sounds.
Is there anything that you all would like to do as you're kind of making your way through line? At this point, it's probably early afternoon.
And we're with our wagon.
Mm-hmm. And you can see that there are a couple other wagons in line as well.
Right.
Just so we're all clear, I assume the guards are going to ask us what business we have in Bugan. It probably would be wise if we all came to some agreement. I was thinking that we might just be somewhat vague and say we are seeking employment. Perhaps we have an interest in the arena. Unless anybody else has any other ideas.
I mean, here for business would be, ideal, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd be necessarily the one for the arena. Unless I'm like your manager, maybe, I guess.
No, I don't think that sounds right.
It doesn't sound right. Oh, it was worth a shot,
Yeah, at least because we're here really to look for that symbol and what it represents and who they're connected to. What was it, the Iron Guard?
Mm-hmm. The Iron Guard.
We'll try and say that without hopefully anyone hearing. But
the
Iron Guard.
I don't know. Do any of you think it wise that maybe we conversate with the others while we're in line? Perhaps find out more about Bugan, so that way we can give more specifics to show like we actually know what we're doing there.
sure, if they qualify our entry based off of our familiarity with it, then perhaps so.
I'm just concerned that they're not going to let us in. This line is taking rather long, so I assume they're doing a thorough vetting.
Can we see the front of the line?
Yes, but it's a ways away. And by the front of the line, I mean the entrance to the fort.
Can I fly Ion all the way up there and just perch him on a little stoop and listen in? Or
What, to the front of the fort, or like straight up to the front of the line?
to the front of the line, just kind of like on the side, hanging out inconspicuously. I want to get a feel for what's going on at the front of the line and see if there's a reason why it's going so slow.
Yeah, sure. So you establish that connection to your familiar. Your eyes go white. You essentially just lean back in the carriage as you see through your owl's eyes. Ion flies out of the carriage, swoops around all the way along the line, and you see that the line actually goes into the fort before you see the front. But the entryway is arched in such a way that you are able to fly right through. And Ion finds a spot somewhere up high on some crossbeams to sit and watch. And you see that in addition to a number of guards simply patrolling, watching the line, you see that there is a set of essentially processing desks. And people are just going one at a time to these desks and slowly being made to go, or being let through. It doesn't seem like they're turning away too many people at this point, but it's just a slow process.
So it's just a normal bureaucratic thing
going
on. There's nothing. Okay.
You do see that a lot of the folks that are coming up are exchanging money for some sort of paper or documentation.
Any indicator as to what that would be, or
Not from where you're perched.
Okay, I'd have him fly back.
By the time he flies back, you guys have moved a couple spots, but not anything major.
Vivian, perhaps this is a good opportunity to work on your charm and put your that makeup to good use. Would you care to go mingle with the others in line to see what you might discover?
You mean me try to talk to other people? I don't think that's a good idea. People usually don't take too kind to me.
Well, you'll never succeed if you don't practice. And it seems we don't have much else to do at the moment.
I mean, that's fair. I guess I'll give it a shot.
Would you like Tio to go with you? Perhaps give you some encouragement?
No, it's okay. I can go by myself. It's all good. And I'll carefully stand up and exit and try to talk to, I guess, whoever is behind us. Because I'm assuming we talked to people that were in front of us.
Garth.
Yeah, the half dragon is in front of you. Yeah. Let's see. So behind you, you see a small family. 2 fathers, a child, and they seem to have a wolf in tow. Domesticated, of course. And as you approach, simply because of... actually, no, give me a... I don't know, give me a deception check.
Deception?
For your appearance.
Oh, no. That's
Actually, since you are disguised, give it to me at advantage.
Advantage? Okay, yeah. I can do that. Deception.
None too terrible. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
21.
So as you approach, they regard you as they would anybody else. So you kind of poke your head out at the back of the carriage and kind of maybe you sit on the edge or the footstool of the carriage, kind of waving at them, trying to get their attention. They respond to you and ask you, "Hi, what brings you to this area?"
Oh, my friends and I are currently looking for work here in Bugan. Oh, and oh my goodness, where are my manners? My name is Vivian. It's a pleasure to meet you. And she'll carefully hold out her hand for them to shake if they choose to do so.
Yeah, one of the men will actually reach out and shake your hand, and say, "It's nice to meet you. they ask you what kind of work you're intending on doing in the city.
Oh gosh. See, I told you guys I'm not good at conversating. You kind of see her get a little nervous because she's just not used to social interaction. But like I guess like more social anxiety. Not like nervousness out of, not wanting to describe what they're here for. Just general jobs if people need any assistance with various tasks.
Okay, so
Is she
just
still
odd
close
jobs.
enough? Oh, sorry.
No, yeah. She's right on the edge of the carriage, like so you would be able to hear anything that she's saying.
Okay, because if she would have left, I would have signaled Tio to go after her, go follow, go help.
I did say I want to be by myself-ish, but I think if you guys...
I know.
Yeah.
I would have waited till you left anyway and been like, just go.
We
Tail.
don't respect
Go.
privacy here.
Damn.
Sharid actually was going to do the same thing.
Wow! Wow, y'all have no
To
faith.
Tio or
Respect,
to
though.
Follow?
No, to send Tio.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That's fine. It's fine. The conversation seems to go generally well. They mentioned that their village, which wasn't too far from here, got hit with a wild magic surge and has been reduced to all but rubble. So they've made their way here to an area that's notably less prolific with wild magic surges, but unfortunately the city isn't always the most accommodating to outsiders.
Well, I wish you all the best. I can't even imagine what that's like to lose your home. Especially with, if you were there for such a long time. But I have a good feeling that you all will get in. I can't see why they would turn you all away.
The man will kind of nod his head and say, "Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I certainly
you're
hope that you
welcome.
all are able to get into the city as well."
Thank you. I very much appreciate that. And then after that, she'll just kind of turn around and head back inside and just be falls to her knees oh my god, that was a lot of talking. I'm not used to this.
How dare I interact with people?
I know, right?
Did Vivian used to work in
People.
retail? That's what it seems like.
Do you guys think I should try to engage some people for some information?
Sure, if you want to take a crack at it.
Please do. I really don't
Yeah.
want to talk to anyone.
Oh, I want to. I have to get into character here. Okay. Look, we talked to the person ahead of us and behind us, so I guess you will try and go a little more ahead.
Hang on. Perhaps we need a cover name.
Okay.
A fictitious character of sorts. There used to be a game I would play when I was younger, where you would get around at a table and throw dice at the table and pretend to be other people. Perhaps you could do the same here, where you pretend to be another character.
Yeah, I'll roll up a character right now, and I'll play as them.
Well, perhaps we don't have time for that, but we could do that later.
Okay,
However,
okay.
just thinking, maybe you could be another, someone more charismatic than what we are.
Okay, I'll play as his name will be Matt. No, wait, his name is Spencer.
Love it.
I love that store.
Matt Spencer.
I'm gonna go to the people two behind.
Matt is a tailor, by the way.
Oh,
as he's
okay.
walking away.
Tio's just crawling along the way, and then he'll stand up and adjust himself and approach the people behind the ones Vivian just spoke to.
I imagine that Tio, every so often when he just crawls out of place, is like a fucking gecko. Just.
Yeah.
So you walk past the family that's directly behind you, and directly behind them seems to be an old man, probably in his 80s, just hobbling along on a cane. Seems to have a parrot on his shoulder, which is weird, but hey. You've never seen such a colorful bird before.
We'll approach him. Hey, man. How are ya?
Bark! Fuck off! Bark!
Oh, is this your old man? He'll be asking the parrot.
Bark! Old man! Bark! The old man will kind of look up at you in your general direction. You notice that his eyes are like half closed. He's like, yeah. What?
Hey, old man.
What?
So, what are you trying to get in for?
Where am I going?
You're going to Bugan. Do you know where you are?
Are you giving Matt a voice? I love it.
Maybe. Oh yeah. My grandson lives there.
Oh, you're here to see your grandson? Where
Yeah.
does he work?
He works in them mines, the arteries they call them.
Oh, the artist. That probably sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a living. Why?
Where
What do you want,
like
my
to
grandson?
eat most?
Say what?
Where do you like to eat? Like, what's your favorite restaurant, man?
I like soup. Some good soup.
Tio's just gonna shake his head like this is I think that'll be the most you'll get.
Yeah.
All right, man. You have a great parrot. I want it. It's a great parrot. You'll go to Pat the parrot.
Brock, fuck off!
Oh, I love it. Tio will crawl back. You have a good day, man.
Yeah, thanks, young lady.
Tio's gonna really wonder on the accuracy of the information he just got.
But wait, the real question is he buying clothes at the soup store?
No. Hey, look, once I got a G-string from the soup store. Nobody asked questions. It just happened.
Is this old man by himself?
Yeah.
Do you have a number on his shirt?
No. Does seem to be like a bluish gown, some slippers.
Tio's really gonna think about just taking that parrot to eat, but he'll return back to the party.
I mean, it's an option, I guess.
I just pictured you like Yoshi tonguing it, just like.
No, I better not.
Yoshi.
All right.
Apparently there's some mines here called the arteries, but it could be fake news.
Could be. Never know. You should trust
Well,
your
some
elders.
news is better than no news, and also that.
Yeah, that old man wasn't very young.
whippersnappers.
He had a delicious looking bird, but other than that.
It was a tasty looking bird.
Do you think I could buy the bird off of him and maybe make us a snack?
You can try.
Eros is looking at Ion like, like he's just gotten an idea.
Why is Kairos like literally
No.
one step away from like savagery and cannibalism? All it takes
That's
is
not
one
cannibalism. Eating
No,
a bird is not cannibalism.
No, but it's your
I'm
own
just now
bird
wondering
that
if I could have created an infinite energy food machine.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Actually, yeah. Like, oh no, they would disappear once.
Yes, they
down
would
to zero,
disappear.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
They are made of spectral energy.
Not if you keep them alive long enough.
Oh no.
Shit. Are you sure you're not the big bad here?
Almost
Give it
solved
time.
world hunger.
So between your questioning the folks around you and just general waiting, an hour passes. You can see that you're about halfway there, halfway through the line. You can see at this point, Garth, who's in front of you, is actually sitting on Roland, his half-brother's back, as if he was a horse.
Roland. I had the wrong name.
Look at me. Now look at my horse.
Is it plausible to just say we wait the queue?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to. Anything else you want to do? All right.
I don't think so, no.
Actually, sorry, I was at the kitchen.
Yeah.
I do want to quickly peek my head out, and if I can make a perception check, just to Just to see if there's anyone else here with possibly paler skin.
Sure.
And if I... Okay. Cool, that works. I'm not going to say the second thing, because I don't think I'll be able to. That's this many people here. Perception... Hell no.
You
Hell
sure
no.
as shit don't.
Cool.
Not with a 4 or a 5.
Nah, I go back inside. And I stay calm.
Cool beans.
Yeah, I'm good to move on if you all are.
Like busk in the meantime.
Can you
Go
what?
for it. He wants to busk.
Just like
Busk?
sing for people.
Like you're the NYC Metro subway, you know, and you have
I see.
Oh,
I have never heard the term busk before.
You never heard of busking?
No,
No.
that's a first.
No.
Ooh, I've heard.
That's a very like city term, you know what I mean? Like definitely like a tri-state area. Hey, I got you, Latte. Don't you worry.
I
what
mean,
it's
yeah.
like.
If you want, you know what,
You
Tio,
can
if
busk
you
all
want to,
over this place,
as
if
we
you
say,
want to.
yeah, you
Go
just
busk
busk
wild,
everywhere.
You know?
Give me
You
a
have to busk
Tio.
everywhere.
If you want to busk, give me a performance check.
So what is busk again? You give people
Just like
food
street
in a line?
performance. Yeah. Yeah. What is your busking like?
He'll sing songs for people.
You're just gonna start singing songs.
Yeah.
All right. So you
Okay.
poke your head out. Like, I'm going to sing for you the song of my people.
Yeah, they'll put a cap welcome to the queue to enter Bugan. Please be patient. It won't take long. You know, go on from there.
Jeez. So you're a PSA. Got it.
Oh no. Yeah, ain't gonna make much money from that.
With a 12, it's all right. People don't hate you, but you could tell after a while they tune you out.
Dang it.
Hyros is trying to get people to clap along.
It's no catchy commercial jingle, I can tell you that much. So yeah, after another hour, whoever is driving the carriage will notice that you're now maybe 2 people away from this large stone archway. You can see that tucked into the top is an iron portcullis, ready to kind of close this place off if need be. Kind of dotted in the walls in this fort are the same kind of sanctuary spell gems that you saw in the walls of Uhuru, kind of keeping those wild magics at bay. And as you make your way inside, you kind of hear the quiet kind of bustling of voices as the different people at these essentially registration desks are taking groups one at a time. And after a couple minutes, you hear one of the guards kind of waving, or you see one of the guards kind of waving and yells, "You, with the carriage. Come on. You're up."
I guess I'll be driving the carriage.
Okay. So as you approach the desk, there's oddly plenty of room between the desks for things like carriages, horses, vehicles. And this guard, dressed in a yellow tabard and kind of the same guard armor that you saw in the city of Uhuru, kind of flags you down and says, "All right, names."
My name is Sharid. I am accompanied by my friends Carlos, Tio, and Vivian.
All right.
Hello, nice to meet you.
What are you all crossing the bridge for?
We are seeking employment. Perhaps. Some of us have interest in the arena, others the mines.
Oh, so you're heading to the city, huh? All right. Says, all right, employment. Any special skills?
I myself am a laborer. My friend over here, surprisingly, is quite the cook. I don't know about the other two.
As you actually mentioned Tio's cooking, you see that Garth and Roland have actually passed their table and are heading out the other gate towards the bridge. And Garth actually turns around like, yeah, he cooks some good food, and then just keeps on walking.
Hell yeah.
you,
Representation.
Says, all right. So we got a laborer, a cook, and freeloaders.
I
Study
mean,
things.
well,
Yes. Okay.
trying
Maybe,
to
Yes.
think.
maybe one freeloader.
Wow. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to think because like I'm more charisma based. I mean, with mending, I guess I could maybe be a seamstress, sort of. Possibly.
You see that he's just sitting there writing.
Clearly a model.
Do you need
A model?
Enter?
I mean, I suppose I, could be a bit of a model,
And I'm
And
her
you're
agent.
like super shy. Yeah, he's my agent.
Okay. All right. Have any of you been to the Flarebelt or the city of Bugan before?
No, sir.
All right. Any imports or exports?
Yes, one lizard.
Hi.
All right. Livestock. All right. As an agent of the city of Uhuru, I must tell you that any intent or practice to cause bodily harm to others outside of a sport is strictly prohibited and may result in expulsion, drawing and quartering, or otherwise death, as well as being fed to the Flarebelt itself. Do you have any questions?
You can hurt them during sport, though, yes?
I mean, hey, that depends on the rule of whatever sport you're doing.
See. Kairos is writing down the rules.
Did you just say drawing and
Sports do you have here?
Yes, it's when you... You're just like in the side explaining to you what drawing and quartering is.
Oh my god.
He'll say, "Where you haven't reached the city proper, so I hear there's a nice arena out there. Other than that, I couldn't tell you.
Eat my cooking. And
That's
drink your soda.
understandable. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem. You will all need travel permits," and he holds out the piece of paper that he's been writing on this entire time. He says each one of those is going to be 2 silver.
I think I have that.
Where's my Word document?
2 silver? So what is that in total? Like 6?
So 8 silver between the lot of
2,
you.
4, 6, 8. Yeah.
Tia will just toss it.
All right.
Toss what? The 8?
The total.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't fully understand. These are made of paper.
Yep.
That-
And these are required for you to go out the other side of the bridge, unless you turn around and come back.
are
Does
only
the silver
people
have to do with
occupations
anything?
Permitted?
Administrative fees.
Somebody's got to pay for his lunch.
I mean, we could give him the owl, but
Your friend's not wrong. Speaking of which, I would like to get to my lunch. So, yes.
Oh yeah, I gave the total. Like I
right.
deducted the total.
Thank you very much. He drops it into a satchel. Says, "All right, here are your piece of paper." You notice that they're all pretty much all the information that you gave, as well as a signature at the bottom and a seal of the crest of Uhuru, so a shield with 5 stars inlaid in it. He says, "All right, continue along the bridge. Please do not cut in line, or you might be thrown overboard."
More lines.
More lines. This is a very congested area, so sorry to tell you. He says, "Now, as a friendly piece of advice, the other side of the bridge, not the most friendly. So please mind your manners and stick to why you're here."
Okay. If someone was
Thank
coming
you.
here to visit family and that only that, would you permit them?
I mean, they'll get through my checkpoint here. Can't guarantee the other side.
Oh, there's an old man coming through. He's delirious and confused.
What?
Here's 2 silver for them.
What?
Yeah, that guy over there.
Damn it! I wet my diaper.
So you paid for him?
Yeah, I'll pay for
All
it.
right. He says, all right, I'll keep it in mind.
You just spoke volumes of this area already. Thank you. Bye.
All right. So with that, you are all released to go across the bridge. The line isn't as backed up as when you saw it. You can see that people are slowly like filing back into position. But you also do see people, not huge groups, but you do see people walking back towards this checkpoint.
When Kairos notices that everyone's alone, or when we're not alone, when we're out of earshot from the guards, he would chuckle to himself a little bit and just say, "Does anyone remember why we're here? I can't seem to remember."
We're trying to find out who the Iron Guard is, primarily.
The who?
The Iron Guard? They're the ones who had that wagon that you disabled entirely.
Oh yes, that. I hope I get to do that again here.
Well,
Right.
and I think...
And he writes a note of it, and you can if you look at it, it says like "Do not forget" in like all caps at the top of it.
And we are also looking for someone, but I'll tell you more about that later.
I feel like I was supposed to be looking for something as well, but I don't remember what it was.
Look for a particular symbol of a... Do you have that picture of it? The hammer...
Oh, yeah. It's B.
Does anyone else feel fuzzy after the blob we encountered?
Why, are you having feelings, my friend?
You want to
I mean, technically, yes. Why?
I don't know. I don't know of these feelings that I've been hearing of. What does it feel like?
It's like electric in your brain.
It's electric.
Shocking.
Indeed.
Yeah. Tia will open up his recipe book where he drew this tattoo in the midst of all his notes on cooking. He's like, we're looking for something like that.
Okay.
Kind of sword hammer combo.
Kairos is looking around, like, just completely disengaged. He's just, like, looking at other things.
Look, over here. This one.
Oh, yes. What is that?
That's what we're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Indeed.
So yeah, so you all get back in line, and you start making your way forward. Before long, you're on this Blackstone Bridge over top of this expanding river. To your left and to your right, you just see the water go on for miles. But as you're crossing the bridge, you see flashes of light from the opposite shore as geysers of flame are spewing up from the ground in short bursts. The air becomes dry and harsh as you approach the far side of the river. And the line of citizens spanning the bridge are starting to get as dense as when you approach to the south. But you notice that in addition to the line that you're in, there is a steady stream of people now, essentially on the opposite side of traffic, walking back towards the south. And it seems like they don't want to look in your direction.
Do they have a common personage? Do they just pastoral or commercial or knightly?
Not really. They seem to be of all kinds, but you do see that much like the people crossing on your side, actually, I would probably say more so. A number of them are in rags. Their clothes are dirty. They seem sweaty. Like they look like they've done hard work.
Tia will like elbow Sharid. You think they are coming from the mines?
The line.
Mine.
Yeah.
Why?
Mine.
Oh, we 2 different Disney references there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why don't we ask them, hello? You starts
Oh,
pointing him
God.
down. Yes, you over there.
They essentially just keep walking. They ignore you completely.
It's rude.
They're destined.
How far away are they right now?
I mean, maybe just a couple yards. This bridge is wide, but not so wide that you couldn't reach them.
And he said they look like they're from the mines.
I mean, they look like they've had a rough time of it.
All right, well, I will pop my head out and be like, sorry, excuse me. And I'll have like a very like more like sweet, pleasant smile, obviously hiding my fangs to try and get their attention.
Hiding your veins?
Fangs. Fangs. Fangs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my F's are more V's. I know.
Hey,
It's weird.
look, gotta
In a
hide
town
them
like
veins,
this,
man.
Yeah, and you don't ever
I
mess
do.
with your veins in this kind of town, right?
No wonder they're similar in sound, you know?
They still ignore you. Like they seem to be keeping their heads down, and they're just like, I want to get to the other side of this.
Tia throws
Rude.
a silver coin in front of some of them.
Jesus Christ.
One will immediately pick it up and just shuffle as fast as they can, ultimately bumping into the person in front of them.
Okay, so they are valuing something. Okay.
Why did you do that?
I wanted to know if they would even pick up coin.
Just pissing away your money.
Why would they not?
Exactly. Would you like to
Because
try that with me?
If they were hopeless, they wouldn't have picked it up. If they had no use for money, they wouldn't have picked it up.
Well, who doesn't have
like-
use for money? That would just be stupid.
If they were property and couldn't spend money, they wouldn't pick it up.
Oh my god.
What do you mean?
Well, how can you spend money if you don't have the right to do so?
Sharid looks confused.
As you should.
One
In my
has the right
experience,
to
some people
spend
have-
money?
Yes. So yeah, some people have, at least from what I've understood, denied doing business with some people just based off of who they are or how they're viewed.
Well, yes, some people are assholes.
True. And some cities and governance can be too.
Yes,
That
Sharid
I'm not
is-
making the connection here.
I just paid 1 silver to confirm that these people can at least take part in the economy.
Well, everyone in a way takes part in the economy.
Sure.
It's just,
Unless
you know.
you're a slave, unless you're a property of someone.
Look, we all wear masks, okay?
Yeah.
Let's
Oh
just,
no.
Ooh, that's a
just-
conversand I don't want to get into.
1,000 masks.
Kairos.
Yes.
What is economy?
Sorry?
Government 101.
What is economy?
Oh. Well, you know how sometimes people give each other money for things.
Yes.
Like back with the guard just now.
Yes.
That's the economy.
When a man and a woman love a coin very much, they can turn it into
Jesus.
something else.
You see,
Oh,
Sharid,
really well.
Economy.
the coin does not actually have any inherent value unless you distill it down. It goes into this big rant of like the economy after he like gets himself
It's
settled.
all a social construction,
Yeah.
Sharif.
It's all about
Don't let
It
him.
is.
yeah, the value that we assign to it.
Yeah,
Blah blah
because
blah blah
it
blah blah.
represents like our wealth as well as our resources for the towns and villages.
Haha, you
He goes
fools.
up-
Welcome
So
to your
wait,
sociology lesson
guiding
for the
hand.
day.
So are you saying, and Sharid holds up like a gold piece? So you are saying this has no inherent value, that is only intrinsic?
That is correct.
Correct.
Now, again, theoretically, that piece of gold could be distilled down into a weapon or some sort of other material, jewelry. But at its core, it has no value. Food has value.
But wait, if it could be converted into something, wouldn't it therefore have some type of inherent value? Potential value?
I suppose if you look at it that way, it would technically, but you can't do anything with it in its current state.
So we're talking about conversion then?
Equivalent exchange, yes.
Okay, we can stop this. I'm just...
I was gonna see how long you guys fucking went on with this. So yeah, after about another hour, you've reached the halfway point of this bridge. The air is beginning to feel sweltering. You can see the other end of the bridge, and very similarly, it's a black stone fort construction, except instead of stones dotting the outside of this building, you notice that there are rows and rows of iron spikes just protruding from these walls. And even as you get closer on the bridge, you notice that the stone here is outfitted more with more metal, more spikes, fewer gems in total. And you notice that the guards patrolling the northern end of this bridge are in much heavier armor despite the heat. And you even spot among those guards some that seem to be patrolling metal head to foot. You can't see any identifying features other than that, except for a dim red glow from around the collar area, or rather the top of the chest. They seem to be carrying large iron tower shields, patrolling with the other guards.
This doesn't make any sense.
Well, you see, it's gold coins, and you can trade it with other people, and then they give you other things.
Jesus.
Oh, you mean the guards? Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, like... It's got to be fucking hot.
True. I'm wondering what these people value so much.
Are we still waiting in line?
Yeah. At this point, you're getting close to the entrance to this next fort.
Busk again?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, here we go.
Isn't
Here
there a
we go.
refractory period or something?
Also, out of curiosity, did the people behind us get in?
You can see them a couple spots behind you just because folks get shuffled around in line going through the desks. You do spot both the old man and the small family that you spoke to, Vivian.
Excellent. I'll peek my head out a little bit further and wave to them, hoping that they see me from where I'm at.
There are a couple spots back, but you do see the young boy wave his hand at you.
Excellent. Acceptance from a child. Wow.
That's all we hope for.
And then I'll pop back in.
So as you... Go ahead, Sharid.
So, Sharid, are the people still passing us?
Yeah.
Yes. Sharid is going to look on the ground for a rock,
Uh-huh.
and he's going to throw the rock
Oh
at
no.
the people.
You gonna throw a rock at a person?
He's kind of big. How are you gonna lift him?
Hey, look. Dwayne's dainty as a feather. Are you trying to hit
violently,
anybody or
like,
just...
It just kind of like it tosses it.
Now you'll see that they probably don't value that as much as
You
these precious men.
You spot that among the group that you toss that rock towards is a mother almost frantically pulling her child. The child kind of stops for a second and goes to pick up the rock, but just gets pulled along.
No, you see, Tio, the child values the rock, but the mother is a bitch.
No, she's terrified because she thought her and her child's life were at risk because a rock was tossed towards them.
I disagree.
Oh, we're gonna get kicked out of this goddamn city. We're gonna get kicked out. Just see her kind of take... Like, she's rubbing the top of her head where her hair is because she doesn't want to rub her face. Because, she doesn't want to smear the makeup. And just, like, there's, like, the circular motion and just, like, in distress. It's like, oh, my God, what is happening?
You gonna rub your tummy with the other hand, or...?
No. No, that's, like, it's not, like, on the tippy top. It's, like, where the hairline meets, the face. Like, kind of like theirs. It just is, like, I can't anymore.
Vivian, are you okay? Do you need a bath?
I don't need a bath. I don't understand. No, I don't have bugs. I'm just. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm sure I'll get used to this at some point.
Is it the feelings?
It's the feelings.
Get you used to the itching of your head? I don't...
No, my head's not itching. No.
Then why did you touch your head?
Because of our conversation.
What conversation?
The rock situation.
The rock.
Dwayne?
I don't know who this Dwayne is, but I guess he must be important.
Can you smell what he is cooking?
He smells.
That's the question.
Is he an associate of yours, Tio?
The rock? Who?
The Rock.
Oh, I know the boulder, though.
The boulder.
The boulder.
But
No, that's the bone grinder or something, isn't it? I don't know.
No.
Listen, Cherie, come sit next to me, and she pats the spot next to her.
No.
She crosses her arms, looks you dead in the eye, and says, "Excuse me."
It's the Bone Saw. His name is the Bone Saw.
Oh, that was Randy Savage.
Yeah, I know. Excuse me. What'd you just say to me?
I said no.
Why not?
I mean, isn't it obvious?
I just want to have a simple, honest conversation with you while we're sitting. You don't need to, Sounds like you're trying to have an attitude.
I don't believe you have the capability, to be honest.
Capybara?
What do you mean the capability to be honest?
Is that not clear? Did I stutter?
I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean I don't have the capability of being honest?
It's when someone is very bad at telling the truth, you see, and it goes on to more explaining
know
the
what
obvious.
that means. I'm just confused as to why you're saying I'm dishonest.
Tio, I don't think she values herself.
Oh.
What?
I was sorry. I was busy just busking and singing songs to people.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Carol, I don't think she values herself.
Well, we all wear masks, Sharid.
Busket.
Time and place for everything, but right now it's not that time.
What time is it?
I don't know. I look outside the sky. What time is it?
Kairos, what time is it?
About 8:53 p.m. Eastern Time.
There you go.
Oh my god. No, but I do look outside the carriage as we're going along when he asks that, just to verify the time. Like, where's the
What time
sun at?
actually is it?
So, as you guys are passing through the stone archway into this end of the fort,
3 p.m.
Shut up.
You
Shut up
mean,
now.
you mean 7:53 p.m.?
Oh,
you do notice that the sun is setting on the horizon, so it is starting to get dark, kind of accentuating those flame geysers on the coast.
What a beautiful view.
Shareed,
So,
give
what
me
were
a
we talking
perception
about?
check.
I wasn't actually listening to their. What caused your argument?
the rock.
What were we doing with the rock? Him throwing the rock?
He threw the rock at people,
Okay.
and he made a comment about it when I was trying to tell him that he startled them because, the mom thought that their life could have been at risk.
Right.
Because, rocks hurt people. It's a solid, heavy object that
I don't
could do
think
some
Dwayne's hurt a
damage.
soul in his life. Shareed, give me a perception check.
Absolutely.
Though I still want us to go over why you think I'm dishonest. Because that
Alright.
really
Oh, what is this? Dishonesty.
twisted the wound a bit.
What tea did I miss?
But you are wounded.
I'm going to go check on Tio.
What do you mean I'm wounded? Alright, sounds good, Kairos. And you
So-
see her fully turn her body
He's just like
Shareed.
Simpsons away out of the situation.
So, Shareed, as you're having this conversation with Vivian, something catches your eye. Before the coast disappears behind the wall of the fort, you see something on one of the shores amongst the flaming geysers. You see what seems to be a bear, but not a bear like any that you've seen. Large, seemingly made of stone and flame, almost magmatic. And you start to feel kind of a warmth in your chest.
Shareed just stares at it.
And it's not there for long because shortly after you notice it, you cross the threshold into the fort.
Oh, did we make it? Are we in?
Yep.
Do you guys have your papers? Do you have your papers? Are you ready?
Papers, please.
Check his
So
face.
as you cross through the threshold into this fort, you are just met with a cacophony of metal boots on a stone floor as guards are patrolling back and forth, much more stringently than the fort to the south. Many of the carts that are coming through, guards will pull back the tarps to inspect the wares. And all of these guards, like I said, are in much heavier armor. Most that you can see their faces are wearing red tabards, bearing a crest of a large hammer.
Crest of a large hammer.
And slowly you're ushered towards another desk. And this desk is manned by what seems to be a red-skinned humanoid, no horns, long black hair tied up in a bun, wearing a significant amount of plate armor, but his face freely visible.
Hi.
What are you here for?
We are seeking employment.
Here are the papers.
He takes the papers from you, Tio. Looks them over. So we have a laborer, we have a chef, and a model.
That's correct. This is Vivian.
Good to meet
He'll-
you, and she holds out her hand.
He'll like lean forward to like peer into the
Iros
cart.
puts his hand out onto his chest to hold him back. That'll cost money if you get any closer. I'm sorry.
That's kind of my, movable dressing room, VIPs only.
Right. He'll then look over and he'll just whistle. And one of the guardsmen that are head to toe iron, you don't see any facial features, nothing other than that red glow, stomps its way over and he waves his hand. Pull back the tarp. And
I'm
just as
sorry.
quickly as he says it, you just hear almost a slight rip as that tarp just flies up over the other side of the cart.
Didn't we already cut it off?
The top.
Oh,
You just looked in from the top.
what was the
then.
sound effect?
It's me.
Why?
I'm sorry. Are you gonna pay for that?
He says, "Ma'am, if you wish to get through this checkpoint, please cooperate with the search."
And technically, we didn't pay for that either, but
And the guard will actually work its way through, not uttering a word, examine your cart, seeing only you all there and your possessions, and then return to the desk where this person is sitting, and you just see it nod before taking a standing position behind him at the desk.
Kairos, you bring up a good point. We did not yet purchase this cart, yet it is ours. What is the economy of that?
Oh boy.
well, see, this actually has inherent value, and what we essentially did was steal it.
Don't say that. Oh well.
Wait, I thought we rented it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm sorry, rented it.
All right. So you all seem like capable people for the most part, as his eyes kind of glance over at Kairos and then back to the rest of you.
I thought he wasn't in earshot anymore.
No, you're still sitting
He
right
wouldn't
there
have said.
in front of the
He
desk.
would not have said that if he was still in earshot.
Does Bugan
says-
not permit handicapped people?
Do you ask that?
Yeah.
He says, Bugan has limited resources. Bugan has limited space. We can't allow just freeloaders into the city. So if you've come here seeking employment, fine. But our city is one that values merit. Make yourself useful, you're provided for. Don't, well, you'd be no different than the rest of these sods heading to the south.
Ooh, so what you're saying is we need value.
That's correct.
So
Very
we
good,
need to
Shuri.
be economical.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, we
Vivian-
would help contribute to the economy.
Vivian,
done.
give me a
Go ahead.
perception check.
A perception check? You
Yeah.
got it. Oh my god. Windows.
He
I don't
gives
need to hear
Sharid a
about these
copper.
updates right now.
What is this for?
Perception.
Positive reinforcement. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
Hey, it's an 18.
So as this conversation's going on, your eyes kind of drift around to look around you. And obviously, other than the other stations where people are being interviewed and the other guards roaming about, you noticed off in one corner, sitting in a chair, in a desk all her own, seems to be a goblin. Taller than most, but still shorter than the rest of you. And around her waist seems to be a number of different vials, pouches, containers. And she's got a hood up, and she's just watching people go by.
How far is she from?
She's on the opposite side of the room, so maybe 60 feet.
60 feet. And she's not helping with check-in at all. She's just kind of sitting there, essentially people watching.
Yes.
Do I see anything else distinct about her, like on her skin? If there's any skin showing, like markings?
I mean, her skin is green. She
Well,
seems to have black
yeah.
hair and yellow eyes, but that's about it.
Okay. So no tattoos that I can see.
Not that you can see.
Do I recognize her? Or
No.
No? Okay. Am I allowed to leave this spot where I'm currently at to walk over to her?
You don't know.
Sorry, pardon me, sir. Since we're in this room, are we allowed to walk around the room while we're being processed, or do we have to stay put right in front of you?
Please sit put.
Can I just walk over there to see this person? I kind of need to talk to him about something.
She looks. He looks over at her, looks at you. Ma'am, do you even know who that is?
No, but I'd be interested in dealing business with her.
We would like to recruit her
Exactly.
to our modeling
of-
agency.
He kind of lets a chuckle out. He says, yeah, that's not going to happen, folks. You see, that's the commander of this fort.
Oh,
I don't think you'll be
Oh.
recruiting her for much of anything. So please, sit
her
put,
to ask. Maybe she wants to
lest
get
we
some money
turn
on the
you
side.
around.
Well, we'll come back later and talk to her then.
I want to cast message, but we can't use magic here.
Does he have that crest of the large
Oh.
hammer like on his person?
Is message verbal and
It's-
somatic, or
It's,
Yes,
I
it is.
believe,
It's
yeah.
verbal. That crest is emblazoned on his actual armor.
Gee, we'll just point at it. What does that represent?
This is the crest of the city.
Bugan?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
yes? But what does it mean?
Why should I tell you?
And get to know the city a little bit better, know the historical side of it.
You intend on being citizens here in the city?
Hold on, Vivian. Let me try. What does it mean?
I just asked him.
We just asked that.
You're met with just a deadpan look. And he says, look,
Kairos grabs the copper that he gave to Sharid back. Negative reinforcement. I'll tell you about that later as well.
he says, look, unfortunately, you all are more capable than some of the other folks that we've let through here. So I can't rightfully turn you back. But if you're intent on going to the city, please follow this road to the north. You'll come to a cave. Continue along in that cave, and you'll come to the city. It'll be a few hours, and now that it's nightfall, keep an eye out.
Is the cave somehow connected to the arteries?
Sir, do you know anything about this city?
I know it has represented by a hammer.
Have you done your homework, Tio? No.
He says, no, they're not connected to the arteries. He says this cave is to get you through the magma crater that the city sits in.
Let's see.
So unless you want to swim in molten rock, feel
It
free
is
to deviate.
tempting.
Well, now that we're essentially done processing, can I go approach the commander?
That was weird. You can try.
I can try.
You can try.
Well, can I try to signal for her? I try to wave my hand to get her attention.
You'll see her gaze drift over to you.
Smirk at her. Like in a, not in like a intimidating way, obviously, but more like of a friendly, like, how's it going?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
So hang on, let me.
Do you want me to roll? Or-
No.
Okay.
I'm
That's if
just
things go well.
swapping
Yeah, true.
views here, because this is the woman that you see.
It is, and I am very much interested in talking to her.
Would you say she has some value?
Well, you don't know.
No. Oh no.
She makes her way over to you,
Oh.
and she stands in front of you, in front of the cart, hands crossed. Yeah.
Hello, my name's Vivian. We're new to the city, and I was just wondering if maybe you have some jobs available for us. And she lays it on like very sweetly,
She kind of chuckles
Iris
at
is
you and
trying to help.
says, You want to try?
Well, no, he's on the side. He's like, has anyone ever told you you'd make a fantastic model?
That is very true.
She just deadpans you as well. You all should keep being you when you get to the city.
Yes, but what does it mean?
Shuri, what do you mean? What does what mean?
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Yes.
She'll just look at you all and say, I'm not in charge of jobs here. If you want to find a job in the city. She kind of ponders to herself a bit. And then says, go to the Commander's Glory. It's a building, mid-tier of town,
Yeah.
on the far east side. There you'll meet one of my associates who's in charge of the goings-on within the city. But don't expect much.
All right.
Would it help if we shared your name? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Because I didn't give it.
Throw it.
And then she turns away.
Kairos, I couldn't fucking hear her.
She essentially says, I didn't give it, and then walks away.
God damn it, Kairos. I can't.
It's not my fault she didn't tell us.
What? She did it. I couldn't hear her.
Well, before
She said she didn't.
Didn't what?
Oh my. Sorry. Go ahead.
Jesus.
Go ahead.
Canadian.
What's
impasse.
the value of a name, Sharid? No, I'm kidding. He doesn't say that.
I mean. Oh, okay, you didn't say that.
At this point, you're all.
Sorry.
I was going to say, at this point, you're all kind of shoved from the back. Go.
And as we're going, I want to shout to her, hope to see you in the city sometime, and I throw a wink her way and walk out.
She does not respond.
Damn it. She seems useful.
Did the inspectors put the tarp back where it was?
Nope.
Then Tio's going to assume that they did that for on purpose and with deliberation. He'll make sure that it is as exaggerated outwards as possible.
So now your cart has a cape. Good on you. So, as you're ushered to the other side, you've now hit unworked stone. The ground is dusty, essentially in a hard rock desert. You're surrounded by red clay. Again, those flaming geysers are kind of all over the place, presenting flares of light in the darkness as night starts to take hold. And you do see the crowds of people that were allowed in start to disperse in a number of different directions, but a large quantity seem to be going straight ahead to the north.
Do I happen to spot Garth and his brother?
Roland.
Give me a perception check. They seem to have gotten ahead of you. You don't.
Well, that sucked.
Should we make our way to the cave? To the entryway?
To the mine.
To the mine.
I suppose so.
Okay. You continue following the crowd, and eventually you come to, essentially as described to you, a large gaping hole in a mountain. And as you follow people through, you see that there are torches that kind of line this walkway that seems to go on for a couple of miles.
Are there any crying babies here?
You see crying babies. You see people that have obviously been on their feet for a very long time and are struggling to even walk.
Would you say this is a tunnel?
A secret tunnel, yes.
Yes.
Secret
Secret tunnel.
Thank you. Good
To
job.
the mountains.
Secret.
Why don't you guys have a bard?
I mean,
I told you.
I
not
was
to get-
busking.
we make do. Yeah, he was busking all over the place. He was busking as hard as he could. What more do you want?
Look, it's gross.
Listen, if my character dies, I'll make a bard.
Oh
We should all be bards.
Just a party of bards. Yeah, see if that
Why
works
not?
out
Oh
for
my
you.
god, please. I would love that.
EPK, traveling bard party.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
right?
fine,
Saves the
man.
world. I'm down with it.
So it takes you a fair number more hours, and the crowd just starts to get denser and denser as you start to leave the mouth of this cave. And my notes. So So, let me drop you guys where you are. Do you all stop at any point considering it's nighttime? Or do you just keep on moving?
I mean, how late are we considering it to be nighttime?
After you guys are in the cave, it's probably
9:15
8,
p.m.
9.
Eastern time.
Shut up. No.
You mean 8?
It's probably about 9.
Central? About 9? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say we'd keep on going for a while, and then if we absolutely need to stop to rest, then I would say to do that.
Sure, I absolutely disagree.
Why would you disagree?
Outvoted.
I think the horses need to be rested. It is quite hot.
Well,
That's why we should travel at night.
Yeah, it's cooler at night. So the longer we travel, we can start resting more towards when it's going to get hot.
So you do notice that in this cave, there seem to be a lot of pockets kind of dug out to the side. But as you get deeper into this cave, you do actually feel that the heat seems more concentrated.
Okay.
Is there any? You said there's people here, right?
Yeah.
Walking around. Can I just stop one of them, just who looks familiar to the area?
I mean, it's hard to tell familiarity, but you do stop somebody, yeah.
Just ask. Hey, what is this area called?
It doesn't really have a name. It's just
Okay.
the tunnel to the city. Why?
Great. No, that's all I need to know. Thanks. Good day.
Fucking weirdo. Just keeps on walking.
Damn.
Do you see what I mean about people and their money and me? You see? Time
Perhaps
of
if
day.
if they valued this tunnel more, it would have a name.
It's true. It would, and therefore that's why names have inherent value.
We should name it.
Yes, indeed we should.
How about the Sea Crest Tunnel?
How about the hot stinky hole?
I
hate both of
Alright.
those.
Oh my god, no.
Not great.
What was that?
The horse?
A unicorn?
I told you they need rest.
No more baby.
But if you insist, I that's fine. I'm done. I'm done with you.
You're done with me? Oh,
Done with
wow.
you.
Questioning whether I'm honest or not, which I don't appreciate.
Vivian, would you say I'm an asshole?
I thought
Do you
that was
want
clear
the-
already.
Wow, I guess I don't need to say anything because he answered for me.
I mean, we all know. It's fine.
We all know. I mean, do you want me to be sweet about it, or do you want me just to get out in the open?
Can you be sweet?
Are you? What tone are you
no,
using when
no.
you ask that question? I want to know, just so I know how to respond. What tone?
Vivian,
Yes.
has it occurred to you that I say this to egg you on just to test your character?
Perhaps.
She's not playing a character. Tio is.
Yeah. Tio is more of a character base, yeah.
Don't you mean
he
Matt?
has a character.
She didn't roll a character
Oh,
yet.
sorry, yeah, Matt. You're talking about Matt over here?
Hey, you wanted to talk to Matt?
See? See what I mean?
I do actually.
But no, like, no, genuine answer. Like, it depends on like how you what kind of tone you're using when you ask that. Like you know, like, can you be sweet, or can you be sweet about it? You know, like, what way are we going about that? Because I didn't really hear a specific side.
Are we talking Leviosa or Leviosa?
So, yeah. Yeah, because depending on, like I said, what your tone is how she'll think about her answer.
My tone was as it was. Don't think about that too much.
I'm sensing feelings.
He's just
So
very
it's
blunt.
neutral.
True
Well,
neutral,
okay, 'cause
if you will.
Yeah, because for her, or I guess I don't want to say for her, but like for me, I interpret that more neutral because the way that it sounded. That's hence why I asked. She kind of like gives you like a look. At first, like kind of like squints her eyes a bit and be like, "Well, you do come off harsh at times. You don't really seem to have like these more softer feelings, if you know what I mean."
No, I don't. That's why I keep asking.
Do you need someone to talk to? Kairos would be a great person to talk to about these feelings, if you need to learn about them.
I definitely plan on talking to Kairos later after I talk to Matt, but no, I clearly my point is not getting across, so I will leave you be.
All right. And she just kind of folds her arms and leans back against the back of the carriage. Or at least a sidewall, I should say.
Okay.
Feelings are not really my specialty either, to be honest. I never really bothered with them.
I didn't think they were.
As you all are continuing forward, you actually start to feel a rumbling in this cave.
And in my tummy.
Like an
Indigestion.
earthquake kind of rumbling, or just like a different type of, like, I guess, sound vibration.
No, just like the earth rumbling. As
That's
about
not good.
about 100 feet in front of you, the folks walking through this cave are kind of like spaced out a little bit, not all going in a it's not an Alaskan bullworm.
Alaskan bullworm!
It's not a straight single file line necessarily, but you do notice that dead center in the cave about 100 feet in front of you, you hear this rumble and you hear a couple of screams as what seems to be a sinkhole opened up and a number of people ahead fell through.
Did I see it happen?
Yeah.
Rocks fell.
Amongst the torchlight, yeah.
How far away were they?
About 100 feet.
That's far, yeah. I can't do anything if that's that far away.
Neither can I.
Shareed, while they're looking through spells and stuff, you notice that a lot of the people that are behind them in line just keep walking.
This is just an accepted consequence of traversing this area. This is ridiculous. You'll look down the hole once we can get through it.
Yeah, once we can get up to the hole, I'm gonna look down and see if I can see how deep this sinkhole is, just to see if I can see anyone nearby in it.
You do look down, you see that it's about 10 feet deep, and you see that there is a man and a woman unconscious at the bottom.
10 feet.
10
Okay.
feet? Hold up. Okay. Does anyone have some rope?
What we need is some fucking rope.
Fucking rope.
I have
Yeah,
fishing
so-
line.
That could snap. It's a little thin to hold weight like that. You know?
Oh, I lost my rope in the fire.
Oh, yeah,
shit,
that's
you're
right.
You're right.
Bought you a new bow, no rope.
Fuck. I'm sorry. I should have bought you rope. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Kairos, do you have rope?
As you speak to an empty sea.
Oh, I didn't notice. Shit. Sorry, Cherie, do you have any rope?
No, I don't have any rope.
Okay, does...
Okay, how long are the reins that are on the horse?
It's a good question. Probably.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
there we
never mind.
go. Kairos has rope.
And after a delayed response.
Kairos was looking through his bag. Wait, do I?
Oh my god.
Do you?
It's not in my inventory, but I feel like I did. I don't know. I guess I don't if it wasn't in my inventory.
Because you had a scholar's pack. I don't know if.
Yeah,
No,
yes.
they don't.
I don't know if a scholar's pack actually comes with. Tio,
Okay.
the reins
Never
would
mind.
probably be long enough, but you then would not have much to bind the horses with.
Can someone watch one of the horses while we use one of the reins?
I can repair the reins if we need to destroy them to get them.
No, I
You
think
know
that.
what? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Also,
We
there's
just start
another
talking at
idea.
the same time. Go ahead, Cherie.
What do you need the reins for?
To get these people.
To get the people out.
Why?
I'm just gonna leave them here. And I want to
Why-
make sure they're okay. And
Why-
as I sit... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Why?
Because it's the right thing to do.
How far down are they?
10
About
feet.
10 feet.
And I start spider climbing my way down.
Oh,
You notice that the
'Cause
people
we'll have-
behind you in line are now just walking past you.
That's fine. I spider climb my way down. And then if we can have someone hold on to the reins and tie them off and then kind of throw the other end down when I can check their bodies. I take my fingers and I put them on both of their necks. Do I feel any pulses?
No. Although you have now a couple of people staring down the hole at you.
they died from a 10-foot drop?
Commoners, man.
And just to double check, I take my finger and I put it under their noses just to make sure I don't feel them breathing.
You got a booger on your finger, and yes, they're not breathing.
I wipe it on their clothes. Gross.
Ooh.
I don't know how that came out when I wasn't touching it, but
It's a haunted booger.
Can y'all throw down one of the reins and I can at least try to tie them and bring them up so at least they won't be set down here?
No. What?
We're gonna put them aside so they can be buried, hopefully. I can't just leave them in this hole to be forgotten about.
Why? We don't know them.
But they were known by someone. Someone cares
Tio will
about
throw
them.
down reins.
Thank you, Tio. And as the other rein comes down, or the other end of it, she goes ahead and ties
When
the
the
first
rain
person.
falls down.
She'll tie it around their waist, so it's even I can never say this. Distribute the weight evenly. There we go.
Okay.
So she'll tie up the woman. Could you say it was a man and a woman?
Yeah.
She'll tie up the woman first and send her up.
Okay.
Tio will assist to bring them onto the cart.
Are they
Okay.
humans?
They are humans.
And
Damn.
then she'll do the same for the man once the rain comes back down.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have much of a problem hauling these bodies out of the hole. So you just set
Okay.
them both in the cart, just in the floor.
And that way we can, if we see a guard or someone that works in I guess for some type of religion, whatever they worship here, can help take care of them properly. And once they're both up and in the carriage, I'll go ahead and spider climb my way back up.
Tio will help
Okay.
her up too.
Thank
So
you.
after a while, you all continue on, and you see a light ahead. I say a light; it's more or less moonlight
At the end of the tunnel?
at the end of the tunnel. As you all reach the other end of this pathway, and as you cross the threshold, you see that you're in a small valley between two cliffs. And dead center in front of you seems to be canyon of sorts that splits the path. The people walking with you in your direction are split off to one side, and folks that are coming from where you're headed are along the other. It's about here that you see one of the guardsmen in the red tabard right up.
I sense.
Oh, he
this won't
rides
go
up to
well.
us?
Yeah.
In your general direction.
I'll peek my head out and be like, "Sir, I have a question if you could possibly help us."
What do you want?
A sinkhole opened up in the, cave here, and we were able to... Well, I don't want to say rescue, but we were able to get the bodies of the deceased out of the sinkhole. Is there some type of cleric or, I guess, religious organization that could help take care of the deceased?
Man, do you
She
know
was
where you
gonna
are?
Yes, I do, but I just... I'm sorry, I couldn't leave them there. It wasn't right.
He says, here, put him on the back of my horse.
Where do you plan to take them?
You wanted me to take care of him? I'll take care of him.
I suggest you do as he says.
I was just wondering if you would mind if I ate them.
Oh, no.
Oh, well,
Now, see,
you
that's
should...
what I was thinking, but
Yes,
they're humans, so
If you would have told me that before, I would have gave you my rope.
No, Tia's
Even I
asking
have
more
limit.
just to see if it gets a response out of him.
He says, you want to eat them?
Well, you don't seem to mind them.
I sure don't. Look,
So if I were to eat them, would that bother you?
if you keep your cannibalism to corpses,
I'm not human.
it's no skin off of my back.
technically not cannibalism.
Yeah, I'm not human.
All right,
Me-
don't eat anyone that's alive. How about that?
Well, that would just be a waste of effort.
So I can eat them.
Have at it. Saves me the effort of hauling them away.
Tia will just disengage.
Super. And he just rides off on his horse.
And you'll go to Vivian. I have no intention of eating them. I just wanted to test and understand
Have a nice evening.
their view.
That
do you-
was a good, I guess, exercise or test to see how people are here. For a second there, I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, but you know. And she goes to pat his back and be like, "Now we have some good intel of who to trust and who not to trust here."
Apparently.
Yes.
Why?
Intel. That was clearly just a ruse. I agree.
What do you mean, but why?
Why was he untrustworthy?
Because he doesn't seem to value that someone had a life, that he wouldn't want to properly take care of them, and, you know, so they could be laid to rest.
But they have no value to us.
But they
Why-
have value to someone else. Wouldn't you care if someone cared, or that you cared about died? Wouldn't you want them to be taken care of?
No, I want them to return to the earth.
Maybe
They are
should
dead.
be taking point here.
Well, oh boy. Well,
It seems
they
you'll
will
get
be
along well.
returned to the. They will be returned to the earth, but
After we eat them.
After we don't eat them, because
Right.
that would be disrespectful.
Yes.
Death is death.
Should we continue towards the light?
Death is not kind.
he's
I
dead,
will say
he
that,
will.
and she turns away.
No, it is fair.
In
She doesn't
time,
say-
it comes for us all. He emphasizes the word time. Because time. Because time.
Yes, and clearly it was their time.
Oh, all right. You don't have to be angry about it.
Who said I'm angry?
You're raising your
I'm
voice,
sad.
and it's making me uncomfortable. And you just see her messing with her wrists, like her long sleeves, just kind of in a circular motion, and like, you know, not pulling it up and down, just kind of like, you know, twisting it in a sense.
Yeah.
Like it's making her anxious. But
I'm not being angry, I'm just speaking the truth. If I
Angrily.
die, leave me lay.
Can I eat you?
Yes, I don't care. I am dead.
It'd be a little hard to eat. Like, ting, ting.
Oh, so Sharid, that warmth in your chest is starting to grow. And you feel it start to spread to your extremities, to your hands, to your feet, and ultimately up towards your face as your previously rocky skin starts to smooth out over the course of a few minutes. You feel that the cracks along your skin start to glow red, as if they were on fire.
What is this?
Is this
What
visible?
What did you do, Vivian?
I'm sorry. I didn't do anything.
You start to radiate just a very small radius of light as, well, you can feel that what hair you might have had under your head wrap starts to lighten, almost like it's not hair at all. You actually feel the top of your head start to get really, really warm.
Does it burn my head wrap?
Yes. So it burns actually just through the top, so you actually start to see just a small flicker of flame through his head wrap.
Reed is taking notes. I mean,
Your head's catching
Kairos.
fire.
Kairos is taking notes, like muttering to himself, "Wow, I've only ever seen spontaneous combustion one other time."
What?
Your
So-
head's catching fire, and she like clearly points at his head with a worried look in her eye.
So, Sharid feels this and feels the head wrap burning off. So he quickly unravels the wrap around his head, and for the first time, you see Sharid's head exposed. And now he has a somewhat chiseled features, but his eyes are very worn.
Wouldn't you have said he had chiseled features last time?
I think Teal will respectfully look away.
Okay, yes, I got that now. Touche.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Yes, and he's just like, what is happening?
No, I've
It would appear that you're on fire.
seen this before. But yeah, you're not necessarily melting, but you're heating up.
Does it hurt?
Put it that way. Yeah, does it? Are you in pain? Are you hurting at all?
I don't think so.
Fascinating.
You see for a moment, like after Sharid has a moment, like he's starting to get a little nervous.
Kairos would try to think of anything like that he's ever seen of before.
You know
That
what?
would
Out
make-
of curiosity, I'm gonna take the water that I have and just take a little bit and splash it on his arm to see what happens.
It sizzles as if his skin were as hot as the air around him. And Sharid, you actually no longer feel hot here.
Feeling cool.
Do you literally sizzle the water? Your body is literally hot, like in the
You
temperature
notice-
sense.
You notice that Sharid shares general features with Carmine, the fire genasi that you met in Uhuru.
Oh,
Sharid, you are now a
So
fire
she did
genasi.
give you something.
I'm not a fire genasi.
Teal will start crafting something in the back. It'll probably take him a bit.
wait! Did he literally turn into a fire genasi?
Correct.
Could Kairos roll any kind of like I don't I guess Kairos wants to see if there's any sort of magical thing going on
if
relevant
you
to
want,
this,
roll
even though
me
it's
an
more
Arcana.
nature. Yeah, there's more nature I guess going on, but
Hold on, before you roll.
I just
But
did.
Sharid, you do also notice that a number of people around you, including those that are heading away from the city, are starting to stare at you because you were the one driving the carriage, right?
Yeah, if nobody else was, then yes.
Yeah. So you notice that you're starting to get some looks. Kairos, your best guess, Sharid handles and utilizes wild magics often. It's possible that his interaction with those wild magics has shifted his elemental alignment.
Sharid, have you felt different anymore? Or any at all lately? Can't talk.
No, no different. Not until just a few moments ago. Oh fuck! You already changed all my shit too. Wow.
Yeah, I already did.
What did you feel?
I felt this warmth growing from inside of me. It started in my chest, and then it went to my extremities.
I see that.
I just changed.
Is this a way of
Perhaps.
controlling your feelings and turn it into something else?
I don't know. I don't. Perhaps it had something to do with what I was saying. I don't know.
Maybe. But no, I've never seen anything like this. Or have I, considering where I came from? Have I ever seen anything like this or no?
You have not.
I have not. Okay. I figured as much.
Could be due to your exposure to the elements, but we'll figure it out. Try not to panic.
Sure. If you don't mind, can somebody take over driving the cart?
Sure, I'll take over.
Gladly.
Oh, I mean, you want a dual drive? I'll take one rein, you take the other rein.
Tag team.
Actually, you go ahead. I'll stay with Sharid and study him a bit. I mean, help him. I mean, study him. I mean, help him.
Console him.
Yes, that.
Yeah. But also figure what the hell is going on, because we're getting some looks now, and that's not good. And she goes up to sit up where the reins are, as Sharid goes back in and takes control of the carriage.
Kairos, what do you make of this?
I don't know. But we'll figure it out.
So, and Sharid just looks at his hands, and he puts them down lower in his lap, and he snaps his fingers,
Oh no.
and a flame produces in his palm. And he quickly douses it out.
Keep that hidden.
What the fuck is happening?
Well, clearly you've become a fire genasi.
Well, clearly, tell me why.
And clearly, fuck you.
Now that he's
Fantastic
gone
question.
back inside the carriage, have the looks continued, or have people decided to just move on?
The folks that are moving away from the city make note and continue moving, but you do see some folks still whispering.
The villagers will remember this.
Yeah, Clementine will remember this. Is there space to have us move a little bit faster? Because this knowing and hearing that they're whispering, it's making her anxious, and she wants to just get us out of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, so the group itself is fairly loose, so you are able to direct the carriage and kind of like usher people to the side as you continue moving on. And ultimately, as you progress, you start to see on the horizon huge black stone walls, very similar to the fort that you crossed before, and much like the fort you crossed, lined in rows of iron spikes from top to bottom, going across the entire perimeter. And in the darkness, the only thing really illuminating this is the moonlight and the occasional flicker of one of the flaming geysers from the earth here. As you get closer, the crowd starts to become dense. You start to see groups essentially get turned away at the gate. Some are allowed in, but not many, from what you can tell. as guards are lined up essentially in a phalanx at the door to the city.
Okay, and question, on the papers that we had, do they describe who we are as, like, people, like what our race is, etc.?
I mean,
Or is it just our jobs?
it's name, job, purpose for essentially immigrating.
Okay, because if it doesn't mention race, then we're good, because I'm worried the fact that Shuri went from Earth Genasi to Fire Genasi.
Nah.
Okay. So, cool. Nothing I have to worry about there. Perfect.
They don't see race.
It makes me think of that one Office scene. But yeah, we'll stop as soon as we get up to the gate.
Yeah. As you get closer, you can hear a number of guards kind of yelling at the crowd. And you can make out bits and pieces of it along the lines of, if you don't have legitimate claim to be here, leave, head back out. Make your roost somewhere else in the flame belt, but the city doesn't have room for all of you. And all the while you're kind of hustling yourself up to the front of the line, you catch the faint sound of knife on bone as you look back and you see Tio just carving some of the scraps into a
Oh, I had
bone helmet. Oh yeah, you do have the wolf. So you essentially string that up into a helmet.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Assess the quality, and then trying to avert eye contact approach. Sharid, here, maybe this will be comforting to you. It's just a woven bone helmet that you can put on.
Metal.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Shuri puts it on. How does it fit?
It fits relatively well, and it even masks some of the flames from your hair.
Thank you kindly, Teal.
Just pat him on the shoulder.
You know, Sharid, I think this might actually be an improvement. You look great.
If you say so.
I know someone else who might think you look improved as well. Back at the town. Think of the possibilities.
The possibilities.
You see, like, Shuri, like, takes a moment, he's like... And then his brows go up. He doesn't say anything.
So as you all approach, you just see groups and groups of people just get redirected at the front gate. And ultimately, as you approach, they regard you all and regard the carriage. What do you want?
We are requiring entry for jobs here.
You require entry.
Yes, sir, and she hands over the papers.
Why did we let Vivian drive the cart?
The guard snatches the papers from you and starts to review them. Looks at you all. Looks back at the papers. And just kind of like gazes into just the space in front of him. All right. The cook can come in. The laborer, which one of you is the laborer?
Sharid raises his hand.
You can come in. This model and her agent. We have no need for models here. And we most certainly don't need some snooty promoter in here either.
Then you clearly misunderstand what we're modeling and promoting.
I don't care what you're modeling and promoting. Your options here are, I can let you into the city. You will be issued residence in the Warrens, and you will work in the mines with your laborer friend here. Or you can turn around and go back where you came from.
That sounds fine to me.
Which one?
First one, Sharid, obviously.
That's an issue for Vivian because she does not work in the mines.
The mines.
Well, there's got to be some other ways I could help out. Do you have any like inns here that I could work at to help tend to?
He says, look behind you as you see just the crowd of people. How many of those people that have come before you in crowds very much similar to this have opted to work in an inn or work in a tavern or as a housekeeper? We have plenty. You work in the mines, or you can try your luck in the mall.
What's that?
You see, that's a fun little arena we've got here in the city. Win enough fights, maybe, you're in a decent place to stay.
I think that sounds agreeable.
Alright, the mines it is, and I just glare at him. And I say it bitterly, too.
Super. Your horses stay here.
I mean, the mall does sound pretty fun.
Will they be taken care of, or we're gonna have to exit to take care of them?
That's no longer your concern, ma'am.
It is my concern.
If you went into this city, it sure ain't. Please grab your things. Head in through the gates.
Are we free to leave once entering?
No. You must receive permit to leave the city, just as you have permit to enter.
Oh, boy.
Tia's like, seriously processing. Why would I enslave myself?
Hey, look,
Yeah.
if you don't want to come in, you ain't got to come in. There are plenty of other smaller settlements here among the Flarebelt, or the Flarebelt. Can't guarantee your safety, though.
Give us a moment to discuss. And he kind of like
Looks-
huddles.
He looks at his wrist where there is obviously no watch.
Don't worry, you have plenty of time when you're around me. Never gonna stop.
Time I've got plenty of. Patience I don't. Make it quick.
All right, gang.
I don't understand. Why do you not take his offer?
I don't feel comfortable about this. It brings up some childhood trauma.
Well, then we have a job to do, and if we do it well, we won't be here very long.
You actually hear a
tell you
couple
what.
of the people behind you in line say, if they're not going to take it, can I go?
Come on.
Kind of sounds like we'll not be here very short either if
No,
we
but how long
actually
is it
enter.
gonna take for us to get out? Because we have to get permits to even leave.
I'm sure there's work elsewhere.
The-
And you just see her constantly messing with her wrists.
What?
But
Hey, do you have any other ideas on how to gain entry and do so legally?
no, I don't. But
I say we
the
go
only other
in the
option is to
mall.
fight. But I'm not a fighter. I'm not built for that.
I'm built different.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
built different.
Excuse me, how do you feel about magic in the mall?
What'd you say?
I'm curious
ask
to
the
know if you hate magic as much as I do when it's used in the mall. Is it physical only?
Look, I'm going to be straight with you. Anything goes in the mall. However, public opinion, you might want to consider. Because even if you went in there, might make it a little difficult for you out here. So if you got some of that hand-wavy, sparkly shit, that's best you keep it to yourself.
Oh no, we don't. I was just making sure that the opponents wouldn't. Thank you. He goes back. Okay, well that plan's not going to work.
Yeah, that plan's not gonna work. I mean, it could, but I wouldn't have any friends on the outside. That's for certain.
Well, if we get in, maybe we'll make some friends.
All right, I suppose. And she just.
Well, Tia, what do you
more
think?
that getting close to the entrance, though, she's definitely messing with her wrist more and more, like moving her sleeves like around in a circular motion, like twisting it.
Dude, I'm curious if the nearby towns also require enslavement for entry.
I don't know, but
Are you asking that?
I might as well, yeah. I'll just go repeat that to this guard.
He kind of chuckles at you. Enslavement? Nah. See, here, it's all about an equivalent exchange, if you will. You work, you get rewarded so long as your work is valuable. If
But you're gonna
not,
take our things upon entry.
hey, look, we're just taking your horse and cart. What you can carry is what you can carry.
It's pure labor economics. I don't understand where the confusion is.
I have so many questions. Going to Sharif, like, I have questions about you now. You're willing to throw yourself into this town based off of the lead you're willing to put yourself in this town to learn more information based off of the leads off a satchel we found in a hole in a wall and a corpse in a house fire?
I need nothing more, my friend.
Huh.
I've done more for less.
You have 3 days. If we can't do this in 3 days, we're out.
I think we should go visit the old man and meet God with him.
Honestly, I've been better.
Wait, what old man?
What?
Man.
The one all the way back in the square from.
Oh my god.
You wanted us to meet his God or something like that.
Well, now
You
that
want
mentioned
to
him,
travel with men, I see.
Yes, men.
It's not raining men, though. That'd be unfortunate.
No
It will be after we
hallelujah,
meet
men.
his God.
What if you put the reins on man?
All right.
That's
Alright,
just
I guess
society.
we'll enter. Are we
Alright.
in agreement to enter then? Just to verify with the group.
Should somebody warn them that there are 2 bodies in the back of the wagon?
I don't think they care.
They
Perhaps
don't
that might actually
care.
gain our favor a little bit.
If we tell them,
Hey, guard,
Did you
there's
tell
2
them?
dead bodies in the wagon.
You see that there's a guard already searching and just kind of kicking the body around a little bit. And it says, look, don't cause trouble while you're here. We don't care why you're here in that context necessarily. If you're running
Good,
from
because
trouble,
I killed them.
just don't cause more. Because if you do,
no,
I'm sure the guard will take care of you.
and she'll just quickly preface saying, they died by falling into a sinkhole. We just wanted to help them out and let them be at peace. Hence why
Kind
they're
of-
with us.
It kind of holds up one of their hands by the wrist. I'm sure they appreciate it. And drops it. In you go.
All right, group vote. Why are we doing this? Yes
I
or
don't
no?
know. I
Based
say
off the
no.
tattoo
honestly.
of a corpse.
Shareed, yes or no?
Hole in a wall.
Yes.
Teo, yes or no?
I'm not really inclined to. No.
Vivian,
That's
yes or no?
No.
Shit. I didn't want to have to make the decision. The problem is, even if I say yes, it's still half and half.
It is half and half, yeah.
What of your owl?
Impasse.
He makes him disappear. He has no opinion.
You should be careful of doing that again.
Perhaps we should roll for it. As he
Wait,
pulls
roll
out a
these?
little. He pulls out a little pouch of
Little clicky
20-sided dice.
Are we playing rollies?
Handmade from bone from Tia.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you want to do this, Kairos and I guess Vivian, give me a D20 roll.
Alright.
Well, what are the terms?
Highest wins.
If I
You
win,
gotta
we
plan the-
leave. If you win, then we, I guess, enter, if that's what you choose to do.
Well, then I would say Shareed should roll.
Well, I got 17, so
For
y'all need to
entry.
beat
Oh
that.
yeah, I'll roll. I'll roll.
It's not very convincing. All right. So do you all just turn back?
Well, sorry. Were there nearby towns of some sort?
You didn't see any immediately, no.
But this guard referenced them?
Yeah, reference that there are other towns along the Flarebelt, but it's a large area. The coast is hundreds of miles long.
I mean, if
Fine. Let's just do it.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, it's fine. It's
As
fine.
do I, Vivian, but it seems we don't have anywhere else to go at the moment.
All right, you all sit
We-
close.
Do know what the world is like out here. Suppose civilization can't possibly be much worse.
Fast forward to like 10 hours from now, and it's a lot worse.
TPK.
I guess we're entering.
All right.
Listen, we'll go in, we'll check and see if we can find anybody matching the description of the orc, or any information that we can find. And if we can't, we work our way towards leaving again.
Very well.
We stay together at all costs.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Shall we?
Yeah, I guess we shall.
All right.
Also,
Personally, I think we should try to avoid the mines when we get inside.
We could get kicked out if we do that.
The guard
might not
ushers you off of the carriage and gestures you through the drawbridge gate. As you walk through, you see that this city has almost been carved out into 3 tiers. Right now, you're entering on the mid-tier. You see that there is essentially a cliff going up to an upper tier and a cliff going down. As you look towards the lower tier, you see that there are buildings with wires coming from them, spanning from the mid-tier to the lower, and one heading up to the top. From these wires, you see that there are small carts with people dangling that just traverse along those wires. You can see at the very base of that upper tier are a number of carved out holes and areas with smoke coming from them, and a number of people moving to and from. And then lastly, on the very far end of town, in the northwestern corner, in the lower area, a few of these wires converge into a large circular building and establishment. And as you walk through the gate, the guard just says, "Welcome to Bugan. Welcome home. Have fun."
Thank you kindly.
I feel like I'm going to regret this suggestion, but perhaps we let Sharid lead during the next several days.
I'm sorry, several?
However long we'll be here for. Seems like he's a better fit than any of the rest of us, and seems to have a knack for speaking to them on their own terms. So perhaps we let him do the talking. And the fighting.
Sure, work. At this point, she's like moved from her wrist to her hands and is like constantly fiddling with her hands because everything that's going on right now is just really making her uncomfortable.
Eros notices, pats her on the back, and is like, "I would tell you that would be fine, but that would be a lie. I have no idea. We'll probably die here."
That doesn't make me feel any better.
I mean, yeah.
I could have made a comment, but that would have been too obvious. So,
DM
Mhm.
question, because I can't remember and I don't have it in my notes. Is didn't I get a contact from Carmine, somebody to seek out?
You did. She mentioned a halfling whose name escapes me.
oh wait.
I
What
want to
was-
say it was something along the lines of Lyle.
Okay,
I
and what
think so.
was Lyle's profession?
Carmine just told you that he was a trade contact of hers, and rather infamous in the city.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, Sharid isn't going to share this with anybody at the moment. He's just I couldn't remember it myself.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get something to eat?
Sure. I'd be very curious what they serve here.
So you ask around town for a little bit. Actually, all of you give me investigation checks.
Investigation.
Nice.
Actually, I didn't do bad.
Nice.
Did I?
Nice.
Oh, I did.
Nice. Okay. So, in just a few minutes of you all kind of asking some of the folks walking about town, you gather the following information. There is a tavern, a popular tavern, in this midsection of the city known as the Lower Stratum. The tavern's name is Hearth and Home. It's run by a dragonborn named Dietrich, and people essentially go there as their main source of food. There are other establishments, but in the Lower Stratum, that's the place to go.
Okay.
I should be on the right mode. Bam. Vivian, as you're talking, asking about town, you also get that information about the Hearth and Home. You also come across an older man, rather fit for his age, wearing work clothes, who notices that you all seem to be new to town and says, if you're looking for a job, you might want to register yourselves at the Commander's Glory here in the Lower Stratum, so that the guard at least knows who you are.
All right. Yeah, and she, the lady, the goblin, did mention that to us of the Commander's Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Will do. Where is that in town, if you don't mind me asking?
He points you to the base of the upper area, all the way over to the northeast.
Got it.
And Sharid and Tio, as you're gathering information, you kind of get an idea of how this city is laid out. Other than the obvious 3 tiers, the Lower Stratum is where most of the folks that work in the arteries live, and those that have kind of made their way in the mall. This is kind of the middle class of this city. All new arrivals tend to stay in the lower area of the city known as the Warrens. They say it's not exactly the nicest place. A lot of beggars, a lot of vagrants. Honestly, a lot of crime too. But work yourself hard enough and you move up here. And if you're really lucky, you'll move up there, as they point to the upper area of town. And they say, that's the end game for everyone here. You want to get to the mantle. The mantle is where the most famous, the most well-off of us live. Even amongst the sovereign stays up at the mantle.
Can I ask these people how they would feel about Uhuru?
Never been. I hear they have all that wibbly wobbly magic. I don't like it. Makes me feel icky. A lot of us came here to flee all that magic shit.
Worked out so nicely.
Hey, I'd rather work myself every day and have a place to live versus working every day for a place to live and get destroyed by nature just having a bad day.
Sharid has a couple of questions that he to ask
Yeah.
people. First off, is he would like to determine where he might find the halfling that Carmine referenced.
With what you rolled, you'll get one lead. You ask somebody about a halfling named Lyle, and they're honestly surprised that you asked. And they say, that bum works out of the Warrens. I hear he's a smuggler. Yeah, go to the southernmost area of the Warrens. You'll see a little shack. Folks tend to come and go because he can get them stuff that they need down there.
Hey,
Uh,
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And essentially, he'll point him like there-ish.
what were you going to ask, Teal?
do you have a friend or someone? I think I heard the name Mars the Mask from a friend of yours. Am I imagining things?
Mars the Mask.
He says,
Okay.
Mars?
Yeah,
Do you
maybe I'm
ask somebody
imagining
about
things.
town?
No, I'm asking Shareed.
Oh, you're asking Shareed. You all would know that Mars the Marked is the sovereign of
Marked.
this city.
Okay.
That's the name
Bad
of the
note.
person who runs this city.
Okay.
So where are we still in the lower sanctum?
Right now, you're in the lower stratum, which is the mid
Or stratum,
area of
sorry.
town.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's all Shareed will ask at the moment. And we I forget. Were we at the Hearth and Home, or we're just asking around?
I mean, you can make your way there. You were just asking around for information.
Okay. And so we are permitted here, but we are to work in the mines, correct?
Yes, you work in the mines or you fight in the mall. Entry into this city, you'll notice a kind of a notation on your travel permits that you're permitted to sleep and stay in the Warrens.
All right. But there's no we don't what's the word? Like probationary officers what came to mind, but somebody that we have to report to.
Not necessarily. You do see that guards every so often will just address people on the street to see their papers.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, if I have a lead in the Warrens, there is somebody Carmine told us to look out for. Perhaps we should start our search there.
Lead the way.
And it would not be a bad idea, perhaps, to see if we can secure some lodging. All right. So yeah, we make our way down into the Warrens.
Okay. So you all
And what was
make
the
your
halfling's name again? Sorry.
Lyle.
Lyle.
So you make your way over to a large green building with one of these wires coming out of it. And you see that there's a small line, people quickly moving. And again, you see a humanoid red... Go ahead.
I found my notes here. Was it Lars Flintskin? Was it that?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Lars.
Yeah, Lars Flintskin. Okay, I did make notes.
Yes. I knew I was getting close with Lyle, but I was like, I don't think that's it.
Wow.
Lyle. God damn it, Lyle. Yabba dabba doo. Yes. So you walk up and you see that, again, it's a humanoid, red skin, no horns, long black hair. It's a hobgoblin. Essentially asks for your papers. And gives you permission to ride the gondola down to the Warrens.
Great. How was the view?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, So the view itself isn't bad if it wasn't for all of the smoke coming from the arteries and the ash in the air from the magma crater around the city. And every so often, a pocket of hot air will rock the gondola from side to side as it's heading down to the Warrens.
Is it just us in this one gondola?
It's you and a few groups of just citizens.
And you rock? You said the gondola rocks and the air hits it?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as that starts happening, Vivian immediately hooks her arm around Kairos. She does not like this at all.
Can I help you?
I'm sorry. I don't like how it's moving.
Why? It's rather fun, don't you think? And he starts like swinging,
No.
swinging with
Oh
it.
my god! And you just see her glare. She immediately lets go.
Yes.
And then we'll move over to Tio instead.
Please,
I hate
God,
you.
no.
No, I hate this. And the inner panic.
How's Tio handling the heights?
This feels like we're in a boiler of some sort, but it's a wonderful view. I'm not used to this.
Like a pot?
The air is very hot, very humid.
Yeah,
Seems fine to me.
makes it feel like you're in a stew. You're just a potato being stirred around.
Very astute analogy. I like it.
After a few minutes, the gondola arrives at a different station on the lower west end of the Warrens.
As we exit, it's just we make our way down southwestern or southeasterly to look for this Lars fellow.
Okay.
So yeah, just we head that direction anytime there seems to be somebody. It seems like they have a moment and are at least make eye contact. I ask to see if they can help point us in the right direction as we make our way.
Isn't there a jail?
A jail? You will know that there is a jail attached to the Sovereign's Manor in the Mantle, simply known as the Hold. But yes, as you all continue southeasterly, Sharid, you notice a lot of people don't want to look you in the eye. You do ultimately get information kind of generally pointing you in the right direction, but most people do not want to associate with you. They see kind of the glowing embers of your skin, and they kind of give you a wide berth where they can.
Oh. Perhaps it is not best for me to lead. It seems many are quite tentative and cautious in my presence.
I think that's exactly why you should lead.
If you insist. Okay. So yeah, just making our way.
At any point during the travel so far, has there been ever a moment where we would have been alone for like a second?
I mean, yeah.
Like alone as in inconspicuous. Like, could I cast a spell without someone noticing?
So you walk down streets that seem quiet, but it seems like a lot of folks in the Warrens, at the very least, are kind of keeping to themselves. But you notice that the streets tend to have vagrants living in alleys. So while you seem to be alone, you never know.
Great. I won't. I'll wait until we get lodgings. Also, point of order. This is sort of a ruling I think you would need to make. Would mage armor be visible? Because my interpretation is that it's like an aura, kind of. And from what I Googled, it seems like it would have a spectral light armor. Yeah. So if that is how you feel, then I would have canceled it before we entered.
So all it says is a protective magical force.
Me personally,
I
mage
would,
armor is like once you cast it, you don't see it. But that's my
yeah, I
opinion.
would think that you can honestly make it look however you want. The force is there regardless. So if you want it to be just an extra wall of force around you, then you can. I mean, you can do that.
Well, that's a whole different spell, Gary. We can't.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
You're never
then
getting
I guess
that spell.
I would have kept it up then when we were.
Yeah,
Getting
I
there.
would definitely have mine on if that's the case too.
okay.
That was a
That's
good
not what I was
question.
gonna do, but just wanted to make sure. I will not do
Alright.
the thing I was going to do just yet.
Yeah. All right. So, after about an hour, you do arrive in the general vicinity that you were directed to. You notice that the streets down here are filthy. You realize that there are a shit ton of people packed in like rats. This area is, in all manner of speaking, just squalor.
Okay. What does this building look like?
So you come up to a house, fairly dilapidated. You see a simple, you see a light on in the window. You're not sure if it's surrounded by a colored glass or not, but the light is blue. Outside is no signage, just a simple red door, or a simple blue door, rather.
Interesting. Yeah, Sharid will knock. Any response?
Yeah. So after you knock, you kind of hear some rustling around inside, tipping over of some bottles, or some other glassware, and somebody kind of rushing towards the door. And the door swings open, and you see a halfling there, some significant mutton chops. Looks a little bit older, maybe, I mean, equatable like 50s or so. Dark brown hair that's graying. And he looks up at you. What?
I have come with a business offer.
Can a guy rip one in peace? What business offer?
Well, the details I'm afraid I do not want to discuss in public. Do you have a moment to take us in and we discuss the terms?
Fine. Get in here. Come on.
Okay, yes, we follow in.
Just Sharid.
Oh, just me?
No, I'm just asking. Is he letting all of us in, or is it just Sharid he's letting in?
I mean, he would let all of you in.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure. So then I will follow in.
He says, what? He kind of gestures generally and says, have a seat. You see a lot of the surfaces here are dusty, dirty. Some are covered in empty bottles. Some are just covered in dirty dishware. Like, swipe it all to the side. I don't really care. Like, have a seat.
Is there a problem, my friend? Is business slow?
No, business is fine. Have you
Oh.
seen this? Have you seen this place? It's a shit sty.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll get right to it. We are fresh into town, and I was told to seek you out by Carmine Hayfest. Do you know of her?
Carmine sent you. Carmine sent you.
She did indeed, sir.
Okay. Why did she have you find me?
Perhaps she had faith that you could be of some assistance. She said if you are able to assist us, she will make it worth your while.
Uh-huh. He kind of looks you up and down, Sharid, in your new form. He says, or she was asking me to help with one of her booty calls. I don't know. Make it worth my while how?
I don't know. I don't know the terms of your agreement with Carmine.
All right. Well, what do you actually need from me, kid?
Well, Sharid doesn't take kindly to being called kid. You see, we actually are looking for someone,
Uh-huh.
and I guess we'll start by what can you tell us of the current ongoings in the town?
The current ongoings of the town. This place, if you hadn't noticed, this place is a military meritocracy, all right? You fight or you work, and you move up. If you don't, you stay in a shithole. Or they kick you out. One of the two. I've luckily been able to avoid the latter. So, the goings-on, as it were, are the sovereign and his advisor have recently got us some nice new guardsmen, if you can call them that. I'm sure you've seen them in the checkpoint. Big guys, all metal, glowing necks. Yeah. I'd be less hesitant to call them guardsmen if there was a man in there.
I knew something was suspicious.
Yeah. You see, the sovereign's advisor is a bit of a... I guess some people would call him a tinkerer, maybe. I don't know.
Why the desire for the drastic increase in security?
Beats the shit out of me. About a year ago, the sovereign made these walls a lot tighter. Still let people in from time to time, so long as they could be useful, but otherwise... beats me.
Tell me, have you ever seen this before? As he shares the sketching of the logo of the Iron Guard.
He looks at it. Looks up at you. Where'd you get this?
And you answered my question first.
I mean, I know a fair bit about the Guard. But I want to know how you got this. He hands it back to you.
Well, you see, we had a run-in with these people when we were in Ohora. Ohoru.
Yeah, I of course chose the most difficult fucking name to pronounce.
Oh, I constantly want to say Ohora from Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah. Ohoru. We had a run-in with them, and it didn't end too well for them, although they did not die by our hands. And we had rumors that they come from Bugan. And I'm curious, getting the sense of things here. Perhaps, well, are there any in Bugan who are in opposition to what was the position of the
sovereign?
Of the sovereign?
He says, do y'all have a place to stay yet?
No. Well, technically, I think we do because we're working, but...
You haven't necessarily been given lodgings yet, no. So just that you're supposed to stay in the Warrens.
Yeah, I'll mention that.
All right. He says, well, good. He points over to the wall, and you see a staircase going up. There are a couple rooms up there. Beds aren't great. You should stay here, because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. As he pulls up his sleeve, and you see that same tattoo.
Nice.
And that'll be the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
I firebolt him right in the dick. No.
Right in the dick. Right in the dick hole.
Right in the mommy and daddy buttons.
All right.
Question. I thought of a question. I want to ask it before I forget.
Uh-huh.
Psychic damage. It's verbal spells. It's verbal.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it. I'm not producing anything physical that anyone could observe. I just would say some mean stuff and people would get some real bad headaches. Would people be able to tell that I'm casting magic?
Let me get back to you, because I feel like whenever you're casting a spell, there is some aura that's seen, regardless of the actual production of an effect.
That's fair.
Otherwise, the subtle spell meta magic would be pointless.
Right. True.
So
that's a good point.
I would say that probably, yes, people would still notice.
Okay. That's fair.
So
I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it anyway. This whole place is going to be on fire.
Just start screaming at people on the street.
Go full Siri from Witcher.
I'm liking this curveball, Gary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that?
Yes.
Good.
I welcome it.
Oh, you'll find out more next week. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We've got a Discord server now, if you haven't seen the fucking robo messages in chat. So below the video, click the link, join us on the server. It's the best way to probably get announcements for cancellations, videos going up on the VOD, all that fun stuff. So yeah, until next week, you have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye.